Hello, welcome to the Watch That John podcast. I'm Mary.
And I'm James.
And today we are reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yes, sir, to the Marvel movies.
Yeah. This is our first Marvel movie review, which is crazy because I feel like a few years ago at the peak of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we would have done like 5 of them by now.
Absolutely. I do think they dropped off significantly since Endgame. Endgame had everybody on their seats. But even though the Spider-Man movies were pretty good too. I'll give it that.
See, I like Tom Holland. I like him as Spider-Man, but I don't like his movies. I don't know what it is. His movies they don't do it for me. But him as Spider-Man, he's my favorite Spider-Man. I love his boyish charm. I know.
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire is
Yeah.
I'm about to say shaking in his grave, but he's alive and well, hopefully. But yeah, he's just so, I don't know, he just seems like a sweet kid. He just seems like a sweet, earnest kid, and that's why I like him. But
I like him the most because he's actually dating Zendaya. I think that's kind of cool.
See, I normally don't like when people do that. It's like, why are you mixing business with pleasure? Because if y'all break up, is the chemistry still going to be the same for the next movies?
No, they're actors. They can do both.
I mean, I don't know.
They can love and act at the same time. They can act to love or love their actor. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
I mean,
you know what I get at?
You're stupid. But I mean, there's some people, you can love them, but you just don't act well. Apparently, remember that movie Will and Jaden did, that space movie?
No.
It bombed because even though they're father and son, they don't really have good chemistry.
Well, let's see how our chemistry is. We're doing this movie review. Are you ready?
Wait, I want to talk about your weekend. How was your weekend?
It
was Mother's Day, y'all. Shout out to the mamas.
Shout out to the mamas. It was
the
Mother's
pet
Day.
mamas, the baby mamas, the plant mamas, all them.
Plant mamas?
Yeah, people who nurture plants.
Oh, okay. They get the designation of mamas now? That's
Yeah.
how we're going?
Yeah, because, listen, you just want to get celebrated on a day. Only a few people said Happy Mother's Day to me, and I was hurt because I'm like, I've been taking care of Milkshakes the cat for 13 years now. So, yeah, I want to be celebrated too.
No, this weekend was great. Eileen, my wife, she graduated
My
from
wife.
Oklahoma University with a master's in business administration.
The other OU.
Whatever OU you talking about?
I don't know. I was going to say Ohio State, but that's not OU.
Yeah, that's OSU. Yeah. But
Yeah.
no, she graduated this
Right.
weekend, and her in-laws are here, so they hang
Still?
out with us. They're here till Thursday.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun.
Yep. They're being very quiet on the couch while I record this episode, so I appreciate it. Gracias, familia.
Oh, is that why you're talking so low?
Actually, it probably might be.
Yeah, it's
Or maybe
giving
I'm too much.
ASMR, and I hate ASMR.
I don't know what ASMR is.
It's where people, they just, it's like noise sort of porn. They'll talk very low and calming. Not porn, not actual porn. But you know what I mean? It's supposed to make you feel calm, and it's satisfying noises. Some ASMR will be people popping bubble wrap.
You mean calming, just calming, a calming voice? Like NPR radio?
Like NPR, yeah. I don't like it because it's just forced. It's you can just
Am I louder now?
Yeah, you're better. You're
Okay.
better.
Cool.
But
Let's get to this
Mother's
movie.
Day. Oh wait, I don't know why I want to keep talking. Oh, because I want to tell y'all Philly people. I went to Moshulu for the first time. Don't go there. The food is too expensive.
That's the boat restaurant, right?
That's the boat restaurant right on Columbus.
The
And
old
it's
Delaware.
Huh?
The old Delaware, the Delaware River.
Why do you call it that?
I don't know.
But yeah, I'm just letting y'all know. Don't go there. It's too expensive. I had a crab cake. It was so bland. I just wanted public service announcements for y'all. But yeah, let's finally get into this movie. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it was very dark.
Yeah, this is the third installation of Guardian of the Galaxy 3. And the first two were essentially comedies,
The
right?
first one was very funny. I rewatched most of it again Saturday morning,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a good time. Like that part in the movie where what's his name? Oh, when Rocket, Gamora,
Group.
Peter Quill, Groot's, they're all trying to escape from the prison.
Oh, yeah, that was
And
hilarious.
Rocket's like, I need that guy's leg. And then come to find out, he was like, I was just fucking with you. I don't need his leg. I just thought it would be funny. And it's like he went through so much hell to get this man's prosthetic leg for the breakout plan. And there was a lot of moments like that where I was like, this is actually really funny and charming.
Yeah, no, I felt that way too. I felt the way about the second one. Both films had banger soundtracks. Just throwbacks.
Ah,
What kind of
I don't know.
feeling? Right. So
dun, 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 dun.
just banging soundtracks and just like
You know what? Well, what's your favorite song? Can you remember?
probably the one you just sung. What kind of feeling? That kind of feeling.
That movie put me on this song by I'm again. It's either by 100cc or 1000cc. It's probably 100cc, but it's called I'm Not in Love. It's like I'm not in love, so don't forget it. It's just about this dude who's like in denial about how he feels about this girl. Yeah, they played it
Also,
in the
I like the song that his father sings about his mother, about
in the
being
second one.
Yeah, in the second one about a sailor in the sea. Let me look what that song is.
I don't remember that. Maybe we drop some audio of that song in there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in the first one, this third movie is really centered around Rocket, and I feel like that was a good choice because in the first movie, you sense like this sort of like deep, like melancholy in Rocket, and I feel like he tries to hide it with like humor and like anger. But there's this one scene in the first movie where he just got into that high security space prison, and they hosed him down, so he was butt naked. And then when he came into a shot, Peter saw like his bare back and saw like all the wiring and like screws and like just all the experiments that happened to him that were performed on him against his will. And Rocket's face in that moment, for a quick moment, he just looks so distraught and just deeply sad. And it's like, man, you do kind of wonder what happened to you.
Yeah, it was equivalent to all those slave movies when the slaves showing their back.
That is
and you see all the
OD.
scars.
You did not just compare Rocket the raccoon
To our
to
ancestors.
freaking Amistad. That's deep.
Well, it's basically just a physical representation of the trauma they've been through. That's my comparison, not the gravity, but a physical representation of the trauma they've been to is on his back when he took the shower scene, right?
Yeah.
And yeah,
It
you're
was
right.
sad.
This movie is that song, by the way, is called "Brandy, You're a Fine Girl."
Brandy, you're a fine girl. All right, sing some of it for me.
Yeah, it goes. Let me get to the chorus real quick.
All right. Never mind.
No, hold on, give me a second. I got it.
All right.
It says the sailor says, "Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. But my life, my lover, my lady is the sea."
So did he make that song up in the movie, or is that a song that's already out
It's
there?
it's an actual song. Basically, we're just saying that he
Just like a sailor
basically-
song.
yeah, it's like my papa was a Rolling Stone kind of concept. You know what I mean? Like
Papa
I'm-
was a Rolling Stone. He was a deadbeat father. That song sounds like he's an explorer. Like Papa
That's the
was a
same
Rolling
kinda
Stone
concept.
is like, Papa was a Rolling Stone is like, no, this nigga ain't never here. He sleeps around with everyone. Wherever he lays his hat is his home. Papa was a hoe. That's not giving me that vibe. That just like, I have the heart of an explorer and I don't want to settle down just yet.
Yeah, it's just set in a nice, more upbeat tone. But it's still the same thing. What do you think he going
No,
to see?
he not
whole
saying that he's
round.
sleeping around with people. I mean, I
That's
know
what that
seamen
means.
have a lot of semen. But I don't think it's
No.
like that. And you know, speaking of which, another song in the soundtrack is the Pina Colada song
Oh yeah,
that everyone
that's
thinks is such a nice song until you
but it
read the
isn't.
lyrics. It's not.
It's not.
He was full on about to cheat.
He was. It turned
They
about
both
his
were
wife
about
was
to
about to
cheat.
cheat too, and it was like, oh
Yeah.
crap,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they realize they're perfect for each other with their cheating asses.
perfect
So,
scumbags.
but yeah, going back to Rocket, I remember a scene in the first movie too. He got mad because I think Gamora called him vermin and someone else called him a rodent, and he was just so mad and he got into a fight with Drax
Yep.
and everything, and he just kind of had a breakdown. He was like pretty much like, y'all treat me like I'm nothing, like I never asked to be this way.
Exactly.
And they never really got into it. So I think this movie was kind of necessary because it's like, let's find out what happened to Rocket.
Yeah, man. And what happened to this poor creature is pretty
Sadistic.
tragic.
It's
Sadistic.
literally sadistic.
So
But
so the movies.
I have to hand it to the actor who played the main antagonist. I don't remember his name.
oh,
He
you talk
killed
about
that.
the great evolutionary, the high evolutionary.
Yeah, he he ate. He was giving crazy. He was
He
giving
was.
God complex. Like yeah, shout out. We don't get a lot of black villains in the Marvel universe, so
You know the crazy thing about I guess the opening, right? It's one, they're off
The opening?
on the opening of the movie. No, when they're on the island of the planet nowhere, and they're just floating around in that old
which is a god's head. I
Yeah.
love that idea, by the way. That's fire.
yeah. So they're floating in the head, right? And they're kind of chilling, except for Peter because he's depressed because Gamora has
Okay. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm not up to date with all the Marvel movies. What happened to Gamora? I forget.
So Gamora, remember originally, she, her and Peter had a relationship,
in love.
kind of, right? Like a pseudo. They never actually. It was like unspoken, right? But yeah,
That special unspoken thing. What does he say in the second movie?
yeah, something like that. That's special unspoken. So it was unspoken. But in Endgame, Thanos sacrificed her for the Soul Stone or whatever stone. He threw her off the cliff of
I
like
thought that happened to
Mordor.
Black Widow.
So that happened to Black Widow when they came back. But he originally, so the original timeline was he took her in Infinity Wars rather. In Infinity
Okay.
Wars, he took her and he threw her to get I think the Soul Stone. And he
Oh
took her,
yeah, you have to break your own heart or something like that, right?
yeah. So then,
It's like the Ten of Hearts cards and out of some Borderland.
yeah. So they went back in Endgame. They went back in time to an alternate time zone where Gamora was never sacrificed, and where like instead, like you said, Black Widow was sacrificed, so the Avengers can get the Soul Stone first. And because of that timeline, her and Peter never met. So Peter saw her, but they never knew each other. So she's alive, but they don't know each other. And that's why he's depressed and drinking on his.
She's not dead. She's just dead to us.
yeah,
That's what Drax
exactly.
says.
Yeah, he's just dead to us. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, he's
'Cause I
drinking.
was like, I forget what happened.
Yeah. So no, it's kind of sad. You know what I mean? Because like he loves her, but she never will be the same person she once was. Could you build
And
by
my
your
thing is,
experience?
Gamora still died. Gamora still died. Like,
Yeah, she
yeah,
did.
she still died. And
She
like
did.
you said, this isn't the Gamora you know. So she still freaking died. So yeah, that is pretty sad.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's like I don't know. Like I know it's different, but it's like, you know, if someone were to die and you clone them, and even though they act just like them, and like no one else be able to tell the difference, you know.
Because
but
people also are your part of who you are is the experiences you go through. You know what I mean? You can't really mimic those experiences, and that's what Peter
Yeah.
found out. Right? Is like her.
But I feel like even if you were to like, I don't know, download the memories of the person who died into that clone, it still won't be the same. So they
No.
think they have those same experiences.
There's ever
It's still
even more like non-high tech situations. There's situations where a husband and a wife get in an accident and the wife lose her memory. You know what I mean? And they have to basically re-fall in love because they're strangers to them. You know what I mean?
When did this ever happen? This sounds like 51st Dates.
No, it's whoever wrote The Notebook. They wrote a movie like that.
And it really happens.
No, it's a book, but I don't know. It's a book turned movie that's reminded me of. But that's more realistic than someone downloading your memories. Black Mirror. Anywho,
I never heard of anybody who got in an accident, but they lost their memories like that, and they ain't
go
die.
watch,
or be paralyzed.
Go watch the Nicholas Sparks movie. That's
still fiction. I think my fiction version is more interesting. It's all sci-fi, but yeah.
Anywho, so they're on a planet, and then Adam Warlock comes out of nowhere and start trashing all of them. Right?
Oh, that's Eyebrows. You ever see Meet the Millers?
Oh yeah, I did see Meet the Millers.
Yeah, that's Eyebrows. Yeah, he's like a supernova or something. And that's another thing. I was kind of confused. I was like, okay, is this a new person? Am I supposed to know him? Because his mother looks familiar.
Yeah. So his mother is Aisha, who is the princess
Aisha.
of.
Is she black?
No, she's not black. She's got a black name. She's the princess.
I'm talking about that golden woman.
Yeah, she's the princess of the Sovereign.
So what was she in any other movies?
Yeah, she was in the second one.
Okay. I was like, where did I see her? Like she's okay, yeah. So Eyebrows is in another movie too?
No. So at the end of the second movie, I asked Eileen this before we started recording, and I remembered at the end of the second movie, like the end credits. You know how Marvel do the end credits. They showed her creating this person, and that person she called Adam as Adam Warlock. And Adam Warlock in the comic books, he was this he was a being created to be the perfect basically being in the universe. And then
the perfect prototype, the original Adam.
Yes, exactly, right. And he has superpowers and super strength and could go travel across the cosmos and have like all knowing thoughts and ideas, and like in the comic books he like fought Thanos and like saved planets and all this stuff. But in the movies he was just kind of a little young a-hole who was too strong for his
So
own
he wasn't
good.
antagonistic in the comics?
He was like an anti-hero kind of. He thought he was God, but he also still tried to do some good stuff at the same time.
Which is understandable. If I thought I was God, I would be an asshole too.
Yeah.
But I would try to help people as well. It's two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
What's it called? Indefinite power corrupts indefinitely or something like that?
Ultimate power. Absolute.
Absolute power
Absolute
corrupts
power.
absolutely.
Yes.
Who said that? Stop. I'm not going to display my ignorance for everyone to see. But
we almost said
I ain't
Stalin.
gonna. And you really had to put me on blast.
I thought it was a Caesar quote.
Caesar.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I don't know. Caesar said it's "Et tu brute."
Et tu brute. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was.
But he was terrifying when he came in. Yeah, his face looks really doofy, but to see how strong he was, it was like devastation.
It was, and it was
like he just came into the town and just literally it's like no hope. And then what he did to Rocket, I was like, oh my god.
And that what started the whole movie, because he almost killed Rocket, right? And
off rip.
And they tried to revive him with some type of magic life pack, but they realized that
the little what's them little clear? What is it called?
Oh, I know what you mean, like the heart resuscitation machines.
Okay, yeah.
Our healthcare
the EKG machine.
There we go. Yeah.
There we go. We're smart today.
We're smart, right? But like a super sophisticated one that can do like surgery with lasers, apparently. Anywho, they tried to use it on a Rocket, and they saw that there was a kill switch on his heart.
That's so evil.
It is. It's evil.
That's so
and
evil.
They were like,
"Oh, Nika's calling me."
"Oh, Nika." Anyway, there's a kill switch on his heart, and they were like, "How the f is a kill switch on there?" And that's when they found out that Rocket was created by the High Evolutionary. And the High Evolutionary is this sadistic genius who also created the gold people, the sovereign people. Right? He created all the gold people, whatever, and their perfect forms or whatever. And,
they look like Oscars.
Hmm?
They look like Oscars.
They did look like Oscars, yeah. But yeah, and this man, in my opinion, is worse than Thanos.
You know, Me and Xavier were trying to figure that out because he said the same thing too. I was like, he's worse than Thanos. So, okay, Thanos, they're kind of really similar characters because Thanos wanted to better humanity by getting rid of a half of humanity. And he wanted to
Sadistic.
better humanity by
No.
tormenting and experimenting and just being unethical and just trying to create the perfect society.
Yeah, but he wasn't trying to better humanity. He was trying to start over. I guess.
He was trying to start over because in his mind he wanted to create a utopia, and so did Thanos. And a utopia consists in his mind of people who are good citizens, you know. So when he didn't get his utopia, he would kill everyone and start over. And Thanos was kind of the same way, where it was like, pretty much, bad people need to go for us to make this perfect place.
Yeah.
You know, sin can't be in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah. No.
So
no,
it's like-
Thanos was about balance. You know what I mean?
Balance. Okay.
Yeah, about balance. This guy was about creating a utopia.
So Thanos thought there was too much. Okay, what did he want to balance exactly?
Life and death. So apparently in the comic books, I looked this up too. Thanos was a death worshiper.
Okay, he worshipped death,
He-
like the god of death.
Yes, he was like
Okay.
a devout deafer.
You know, when I think about it,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I wasn't Christian and like back in like archaic times, I would probably be a death worshiper too. Like if you just, let me explain it to you. Let me explain it to you. I understand. Listen. What is the one
the
thing
blood
you
of
can
Jesus,
never?
son, yeah.
I said if I'm not, if I wasn't, you know, like when I think about, okay, I remember I was in Tulum, and we went to these Mayan ruins and everything, and they worshiped the sun because they believed it was a god. And I was like, honestly, I would have believed the same thing. Here's this thing that comes up every day, helps me grows my crops, keeps me warm. You know what I mean? It looks like fire. How is that not a god? So if I, you know, wasn't like indoctrinated to Christianity, I can see how people will worship death because it seems like death is unavoidable. Everyone has to die no matter who you are. And to conquer death, you are a god. So it's like, I get it. I get it. And you looking at me like I got two heads. But does that make sense to you?
I understand the sun concept, right? I don't
Yeah.
understand why. I understand why I would fear death, not worship it. You know what I mean?
I mean, not everybody fears death. You know what I mean? Not everybody, you know, it depends on what, I feel like it depends on what's after death. Like, that's one thing about the Mayans, too. They didn't fear death. But that's a whole nother thing. I learned a lot in Mexico, y'all. But, yeah,
do it here.
you said that, and I'm like, I kind of get it. If there's this, if you associate death as being this entity that no one can escape, he's all powerful. How do you not see him as a god? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
All right, continue. I don't know what you were saying, but yeah, you said Thanos worship death, and what else?
Yeah, and that was his main motivation to destroy half the world. I think
He wanted to appease death?
I think he wanted to appease death, plus have balance, plus he was sadistic and evil and too powerful.
Can you pull up fandom real quick? Or is that too much?
That's why I found it from. I found it on Fandom.
On fandom.
Yeah.
Okay. I love me some fandom, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't think about actually looking back at the comics, because when you know what? I rewatching Guardians of the Galaxy, the first volume, is when I realized, oh shit, Thanos was in this joint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why he was
So they were
introduced.
really, yeah, I was like, oh, I like that. The continuation, they really like, oh my god. But I thought the Thanos saga, it started with
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy, or did it start with Iron Man?
No, it started in Guardians of the Galaxy.
So the Avengers started with Iron Man, but the Thanos Endgame, Infinity War thing started with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes. The first.
That's dope.
Yeah, the first time they saw
And
it.
it's so funny because it's such a funny movie.
I know, for to show like the most evil person in the whole Marvel universe. Yeah, it's kind
Yeah.
of crazy. But
Yeah.
anywho, this dude is worse, right? And they go through Rocket's backstory, and he's this cute little raccoon who, like, just a regular raccoon you'll see in your dumpster, right? They take him.
What?
They take him, like, seriously, that's just a regular human raccoon. Before
You could have said something like in your dumpster. He's so cute. You know, you just see him in your dumpster. I don't know.
Everywhere.
In the trash panda. That's hilarious.
You walk around
but no, he was adorable.
He was
very
and they
cute.
took him and broke him physically and psychologically. At least they tried psychologically. And they
tried.
And they went and
that was the beauty of it. They tried.
They tried, but they went and they put all this like spinal like structure to make him walk right, and like
it was
implanted
so
the
sad
brain in him.
When he first got thrown into the cage
yeah,
after his first experiment. Like, guys, this movie is dark. And you just see that they scalped him. Like, you see the stitches.
Yeah.
And then he just says, "It hurts."
It hurts.
I said, "I can't."
Me too. I looked at Elena and said, "I cannot.
I can't.
I can't. This has to be over."
He said, "It hurts." I said, it takes a special kind of evil to hurt animals, in my opinion. All animals are innocent, but to hurt animals who are not actively trying to hurt you, it takes an insane amount of cruelty to hurt an animal that looks like that.
Yes, and not just that, it takes an insane amount, because people hunt all the time or whatever for food, and deer and everything is cute, little bears, they kill them. But
they hunt for sport. They ain't using that shit for food. At least not.
Yeah, but I think
most of our country.
I think the most cruel thing about it is they took this creature, gave it intelligence, and then tormented the crap out of it, put it in a cage. And you know what I mean? And then what got me, dude, I was terrified / weirded out, was that spider bunny. That spider bunny had to go.
Bunny. Yeah, it reminded me of Toy Story, where
the little spider
Buzz
baby
goes into Sid's room.
This is like Sid's
Woody's
dad.
scared. Yeah, Spider Bunny. Yo, that is Sid.
Yo,
that's Sid's black uncle or something.
For real. That's Cedric.
Yo,
that's
and then when
he's
thinking about it, the walrus on the wheels.
Oh my god.
You know Disney acquired Marvel, so I wouldn't be far. I don't think it'll be far fetched if they made some kind of like sadistic little callbacks to Toy Story.
No, exactly. I get that too.
Yeah, but the bunny scared the fuck out of me too. I saw that goddamn walrus teeth. And I'm just like,
and then what was
oh
it? The rabbit was called Floor because he liked to lay on the floor.
Yeah,
Stupid.
she said, because I like the floor.
I'm like, you dumb as a bug. And then
she was stupid, but it's like, yo, even I thought it was nice that even in this, and you know, it just reminded me of just like Animal Farm, like where you just have these oppressed group of animals, people, whatever, the metaphor, and it's just like they don't even know what's happening to them.
Yeah, because they were like,
that's the sad
like,
thing
oh, we
about
hope that the high
we can go to the
evolutionaries show us the world and let us free. And Rocket was like,
and we could see the sky.
And Rocket was
everything.
like, I want to build a rocket and skate with my friends and see the sky. So my name's gonna be Rocket. And I was like, oh my god. But
it's just, and it's just like I said, it's heartbreaking when they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They do not know, and then you just see their like childlike innocence and naivety just be broken, and it's like it reminds me of Animal Farm. It reminds me of the girl with all the gifts.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Were they like zombie kids, vampire kids?
They were like zombie cannibals or something like that. And the kids, they didn't know that.
Yeah, no.
They thought it was normal to go to school and be chained down to your chair and to be locked in a cage 26,
but at least they were actually
23 hours a day.
Actually a threat. That raccoon was nobody's threat, and they took him. And the thing what got me too, right, is they took him, gave him a brain. And they remember when Rocket was sitting up there looking at the machine that like quickly transformed the little turtle to like the Ninja
one
Turtles.
That really hyper forced evolution.
Yeah, remember he turned to the big Ninja Turtle
until they became something disgusting. Yes, I said the same thing. I was like, oh my god, he's a Ninja Turtle.
But he was violent, like a Ninja Turtle without pizza, right? And the dude,
because I'm like, you can't just take an animal. You said a Ninja Turtle without pizza. I'm just like, How do turtles even digest pizza? Turtles shouldn't be eating cheese.
You shouldn't be eating
marinara?
cheese.
We shouldn't be eating
How
cheese,
gassy you
guys,
look.
really. What? But yeah, like
But yeah, as
it's
soon as they created a turtle, he was like, "Ew, not mine," and he incinerated it, yo. Right?
just like that.
Just like that, just incinerated it. I'm like, what's the point of creating life and intelligence just to destroy it? You know,
If you don't value it.
if you don't
You know what I
don't
mean?
value it at all.
Yeah.
And but
it's like
Rocket was able to identify the problem, right? He said some moogly gunk like, "Oh, you need to make this diameter bigger to stop up clogging your machine, and you won't get bads no more." Right?
I like how his little a Brooklyn Boston accent was coming in.
Yeah, that's the little Bradley Cooper.
even as a young age.
Mm-hmm.
But Bradley Cooper, I think he's like from outside of Philly.
I think so too. I know he's a huge Eagles fan.
Really?
Yeah, which
Did you see that post that said from now on they're Ben Salem Sixers until further notice?
because we got to kick him out of Philly because they lost.
No, because that was trifling.
Yeah, it was.
That was trifling, but that's a whole nother story.
It is. It is.
But
For FYI, for time circumstance, the Sixers just lost on the second round to the Celtics, and we're
but
still
my
reeling
thing is
from
they
it.
should have won in Game
They
6.
They should have.
We were up till 5 minutes of the game, and I don't know what happened. We could have won at
We
home
could have.
last weekend.
But now me and Mary are sad, like half of Philadelphia. So now we're kicking them to the suburbs of Ben Salem.
They've been selling Sixers right now.
Yeah.
And Ben Salem's ain't no nice suburbs.
It's like the ghetto birds. That's where
Yeah.
Love Deep from. So it's ghetto.
Ew, that explains a lot.
I think he's from Bristol. But anywho,
Ew, that's even worse.
it is even worse. Anywho, yeah, man, this dude was sick. But I was clapping when Rocket finally escaped. Oh no, the point I was trying to get at is that he hated him for being smarter than he was. You caught that? When Rocket actually figured out the problem, and he said, "How did you know what this was?" Right? He said, "I understand." Like he said, "I understand. Like you were right, but I created you. What makes you?" And he got this God complex. Like, what makes you think that you can figure out something that I can't? And
Arrogance doesn't begin to describe this man.
yeah,
Like, there's one point in the movie, it was kind of a hard verse. He, one of his subordinates was like, "Stop this for God's sake." And he was like, "There is no God. That's why I stepped in." And I'm like, so you looked at yourself and you really thought you could replace a God.
Yep.
You.
He did.
A raccoon scratched off your
I know.
face. I just feel like
Yeah.
God's can't
I
do
was
that.
clapping when
Well, that can happen to a God.
when I guess I wasn't clapping. 'Cause I was so terrified how he killed all those animals. How they got shot in the head. And the little otter
Yeah,
with the
you
little
know, he
robot
killed-
arms or whatever. What's her name? Lola?
What's her name, Layla?
Layla?
Layla. It was either Layla or Lila. I think it was
Yeah.
Layla.
And how they just destroyed that animal. Just boom, 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 just bullets all through him when Rocket escaped. And Rocket went off. He
Yeah.
went and ripped his face off. I was like,
You know what I thought was going to happen? I thought that they had kill switches on them too. So I thought that when he opened the gate and let them out, the kill switch was going to be activated. But no, the nigga just shot
Yeah,
him.
just shot him.
He just shot them. And it's like, Rocket was broken. Like, you really, like you said, you can't give something knowledge about how it should be treated and then treat them badly.
exactly.
Like, you shouldn't treat anything badly, but like that's especially cruel because it's like they know what's happening. They can feel the pain of it. They can have the emotional distress and mental
And
distress
they
of
gave
that.
him hope, and it took
They
it
gave him hope.
away. You know how evil that is?
They ripped it from him. When that dude said, I don't know his name, the high creator said,
High evolutionary.
he said, "Oh, you could figure out why my evolution tube wasn't working, but you couldn't figure out that you're an abomination, you're a failed project, and you're not going to the new world."
Yeah.
And he was just so callous. And he just walked away, and it's like, this is the same raccoon that you had on your lap a few scenes ago, showing him rockets and everything and showing him the world and saying, "Good job," when he solved all these difficult equations. And now you're just discarding him like it's nothing. It's like, your heart is not
He doesn't
there.
have one.
I can't even say your heart is made of coal. Your heart is not there. And that sort of person does not deserve the power of
No,
creation.
it doesn't. And the crazy thing is, though, that I didn't realize is that he created the whole sovereign. So that whole, like,
The sovereign are the Oscar
yes,
people?
the Oscar for people.
Okay. How many are there? I thought
It was a
just
whole
two.
planet. Remember in the
Oh.
second movie where they were trying to kill Rocket and them because he
His
stole
dad.
the batteries, and it came up and it was just chasing them in those like those pods or whatever. Anyway, there's a whole planet of them, you know. So I think I can't.
He destroyed a few planets.
Yeah, but I can't tell about the.
He destroyed those.
No, I said I can't figure out the timeline between did Rocket exist first, and because of what he learned from Rocket, he could create the Sovereign, or did he create the Sovereign first and was like, these niggas ain't perfect. Let me go get some animals and fix them and create them to make them perfect.
I feel like the animals were first, then the sovereign.
Then the Sovereign.
Yeah, because
Counter
I
Earth.
feel this Counter Earth. Yeah, he destroyed all of Counter Earth with those terrifying looking people.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole movie was grotesque, but it was the point. The point of it was to be disturbing and grotesque
Absolutely.
and to make you feel icky, because that really stresses the severity of what happened to Rocket and his friends. Even what happened to Gamora and what happened to Nebula.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
You know, because
Yep. No, absolutely.
So-
Because remember Nebula, she was like, "This is worse than what Thanos did to me." When they finally saw the scenes of how Rocket was treated, you know what I mean? This is worse than what Thanos did. To
it
me.
sounded like they was working on my man's with no anesthesia at all.
Yo, they didn't give a crap. That would
Just
require
wide
some
awake.
care.
Yeah, it's just that so like body horror really gets to me, especially in like hospital settings, because it's like this could really like this is stuff like this is probably really happening.
Yeah.
Like people just being used and like misled. You know, I always think about the Tuskegee experiments, and I'm just like, you took these vulnerable people and injected them with something they knew nothing about, and it's just sadistic. It's just
You do that when you
Yeah.
don't value life. That's what happens when people don't value life or think their subject are less than. They do whatever they want to. They have no remorse.
I just don't understand how people cannot value life. Like, okay, the only life I don't value is like the life of like cockroaches. Like, I don't value their lives. Like, but even so, you ever like kill a fly and be like,
No,
I feel a little
no,
bad.
I have not. I will kill.
Is that just
all,
me?
That's you.
Flies, I kind of feel. So one time I felt I was like, damn, like I killed this thing, and it's like, I know it's a fly, but it's like I don't know. Is this like I liked at the end of the movie how all the children were saved, but Rocket went back to save the animals.
I thought that was dope.
And it's just like, you know, we think that we're above animals because we made more advances. We're more intelligent in the ways that matters to us. But it's like, who says our lives are more important than animals, honestly? Just because we learned how to dominate them, does that literally make it more important?
No, I agree.
I'm getting real peed up.
No, I don't even think that's too extreme. I think it's
Yeah.
clear that we should value human life above animal lives, right? But I do think that doesn't mean that we're supposed to disrespect animals' lives as well. You know, I think cruelty.
That's why
to
I get
animals
so
is
mad.
important. It's not to
Yeah.
do that. It's important.
But that's why I get so mad when I see people have like these pet wild exotic animals. It's like it's like get off your high horse. Like you really feel empowered by having what you think is dominance over this tiger.
Yeah, Tiger
when this
King.
tiger should be in the wild. Yeah, it's like, well, I don't know why they get this man
Oklahoma,
sequels
man.
and like why you're literally encouraging. You move there. Like, you're literally like encouraging his terrible behavior, and it's like it's just it's just very. I don't know. It's kind of gross to me. It's like what? Like I don't even like how people. That's another thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea of just being, just feeling like you need to be important by dominating something that it seems like terrifying. It's like you can just leave this animal alone.
Yeah. Going to the other characters.
Get a big car.
Rocket was important. His whole backstory was important in this movie. But also, how do you feel about Mantis? I feel as though her personality was finally kind of shown in this movie. In the second movie, they didn't really
Oh,
talk about Mantis. Well, she was just like the the doctor, right? This the sleep doctor to Ego, right? Just help him go to sleep and everything, and was what a empath, right?
empath.
Empath, yeah. She like helped, like could feel people's emotions. But what do you think about Mantis and how she was in this story?
Um, I don't think much about her, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought.
Uh, at the end I thought it was cool how she was like, I need to do things for myself, and she took her monsters and left. But but I also, yeah, it reminded me of Everything Everywhere All at Once, where um we didn't realize Wayman's power until the end.
His importance. Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like we didn't really, well, especially Nebula, she didn't really appreciate Drax or Mantis until, Mantis showed her that, and Drax showed her by talking to the bunny children. They look like bunnies. But
Funny.
showed her that there are more ways to fight than just with your fist, and like you can, connecting with people and being kind can really help you a long way too. And it makes sense for Nebula not to value that, because look who's Nebula's dad
Yeah.
is.
No, absolutely. No, absolutely. No, I agree. I think they tried to give Laren layers to Mantis, and they tried to make her like, oh, you guys don't always have to protect me, and I'm not slow, and you can trust me. You know what I mean? But at the end, she only person she ever knew was Ego. And she was all on that planet, just him and Ego and all the children he decided to kill. So not like she she was socialized much.
Wait, so who was Ego? I
Ego
forget.
was Peter's
I don't know
dad.
who that is. Ah, okay, him. Yeah. The dude who like he thought loved his did he really love Martha, or was he just kind of like Zeus, where he just impregnated
He
anybody?
didn't
on Earth?
care. He had 1,000 plus babies. He didn't care about her, about Peter's
Okay.
mom.
I thought she was like the one he actually cared
Yeah,
about.
the one
but
that
no.
almost gave him a god baby.
So
A
it's
godlike
so
baby.
so Peter isn't like a demigod. What Peter?
He was.
Is he fully
So
human?
he is a demigod because his father was part god. But he lost his demigod powers when he destroyed planet Ego. Because that's where the source of his power
Oh.
was coming from. And that's why at the end of the movie he almost died when he was out in space. Whereas in the
Yes,
in the
he
second
did
movie,
almost die. I really thought he was going to die.
yeah, me too. In the first movie,
After what he did to Tony, I don't put nothing past Marvel. They will kill your
Tony.
faves.
oh, Tony
Tony
Stark.
Stark,
Yeah.
yeah.
They did off that nigga.
I was like, yo, he really gonna die.
Yeah.
But eyebrows saved the day.
Yeah, I know. He came up and saved him. But
What were you gonna say? You're gonna say something else.
I forget.
All right.
I do it often.
Well,
What would
I don't really have. What was
Yeah,
I saying?
so the things I did take over notes. The thing I did like about the movie was one, they were pretty violent. They weren't like fighting.
Yeah,
They were fighting to kill.
They were killing
was
people.
killing. They were catching bodies.
Like we know that it was old Gamora, but like I guess even in the first movie, we knew Gamora was like savage, but it wasn't. She didn't kill anyone in the 1st movie either.
no, she didn't.
But now it's like, okay, here's old Gamora, and she's really killing people, and even Peter was killing people. I know there were terrible people, the people who operated on
Oh, and
Rocket and
Yeah.
everything. But when they finally got into the whatever ship that
the High
the
Evolutionary
dude was
yeah.
on, yeah, the High Evolutionary was on, he said kill them
He
all.
did.
And I'm like, are we killing people? Even in when they broke into that nasty like organic
Ew, that was
flesh
nasty. Yeah.
planet, that was so gross.
was.
I was like, I'm disgusted. Like this movie is just disgusting. But it reminded me of that planet reminded me of like an old movie from like the 90s, about the 60s. I don't know. There was something very camp about that
You know
planet
why?
and like the costumes.
Because the
and
costumes,
everything.
exactly. The costumes were just like big and bulky and not really practical. You know, and it's obvious as a costume.
And it's obvious as a costume. I was like, I wonder why. James Gunn is the director, and I was like, I wonder why he went with that, because Guardians of the Galaxy does have a sort of like campiness to it, I guess, but not in this sense where like things purposely look bad, if that makes sense. Like never to this extent. I was like, I wonder why they chose this. Like, I guess it was supposed to be like a 60s sort of thing, because like even the attendants, they had like the little Twiggy Bobs and like go-go boots and like
I think
A-line
they also
dresses.
did a lot to do comic relief, because the main storyline was so dark. You know what I mean? That they did a lot of stuff just goofy and awkward, simply so we can survive the movie. Because it was a part, man. Halfway in it, I'm like, I can't do this. I was like, I can't do this. This is too much. Like I said it facetiously, but like I felt like anxious just how bad they were treating these you know what I mean? They were like terrible. But
Yeah.
I thought the fighting scene was pretty cool.
It's
though.
like
when they opened up, when they did get to the I thought the fighting scenes were pretty cool. I thought that
where they played No Sleep to Brooklyn. Yeah, I liked how they showed how every individual person fought. That was really
I always
fun to
wonder
see.
how Peter fought, because
really
you know
fun.
he's just a human. He get like a knife to the throat.
He uses guns.
But he was
like
he
a
was
human.
athletic, like sliding over, and they made him fat in the second movie, but he was ripped again.
I like him with that long hair.
But
I do.
yeah, no, it was crazy.
But yeah, you're right. That even the characters themselves, they were killing people. Where before they were more like the typical Marvel superhero. Like they only kill the really bad guys, but everyone else is just kind of knock out. You just know that they're knocked out because they go when they're on the floor and lying and stuff like that. But they were killing.
And then when they
people.
killed the real bad guys, it was just like, oh yeah, something spectacular happened, and they died in a spectacular, non-regular way. Now they're just shooting people in the chest, like boom.
Yeah, they're just like when Peter literally jumped out of that falling spacecraft with that man in his arms and Groot was behind them.
Oh, he's like just dragged him to the ground, like da 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 da. I know what you mean.
Like he literally jumped out of the falling aircraft, whatever, with this man, crashed him on the ground for like hundreds, probably like thousands of feet in the air, and then got there and really just chipped the thing out of his brain. It was very barbaric in a way that I've never seen any Marvel character be. Honestly, you don't see this.
Yeah, no, that's true.
This is like some Batman movie kind of stuff. Like this is, you don't
Marvel
see
got
this.
DC dark.
They got DC dark, honestly, and it's like I can imagine that in like Deadpool, not in Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm like, man, you guys went dark, but like you said, I think that was just like the whole feel of the movie. I think Peter was just really disgusted by everything, and in his mind, he's like, you people deserve no mercy, you deserve no grace, and that's real.
I think the audience probably wanted it too, right? It was like, yo, you showed us these animals get ripped apart, and like we want you to destroy these people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
But the sad thing about it is that still doesn't erase what happened.
It doesn't, and not just with Rocket. He destroyed the whole like stinking planet.
He destroyed Counter Earth
just because they were selling drugs in the corner.
And I'm like, my thing is, the perfect being doesn't exist.
I feel like some Republicans want to do that. They just want to be like, North Philly, Detroit, Chicago, your crime scenes, you got to go. Boom. Let's start over. Let's move everyone to Montana somewhere.
Even the fact that they said meth, they were like, Utopias, they don't sell meth. And I was like, meth? You guys are saying hardcore drugs in the PG-13 movie?
You off guard. They don't sell meth for
Peter
the corner.
Quill said, get in the fucking car. I was like, this is taking a darker turn. I was like, I remember asking Xavier, I was like, should this be rated R? Like, or something a little bit higher than PG-13? I'm like, meth?
I forgot they said.
I know kids know
I forgot
what
he
meth
said get in the
is,
effing car. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I mean, our sound engineer told us that they're always allowed to drop one F-bomb in PG-13 movies. So that didn't really surprise me. The meth reference did surprise me, though, because I've never seen... You know, they normally make up a drug. They'll say, oh, you know, you're selling 4916. They said methamphetamine.
It's kind of crazy. Like, all in a Counter Earth, if we're on Counter Earth, they got meth.
They still got some good old meth. They got good old, still got meth. Yeah, no, and it was a sad because, you know, Peter and the gang went into a family's home on Counter Earth, and they were just like, it was like the 50s there. They were just like people, creepy looking people, and they had livelihoods and families, and like you just killed all of them.
All of them.
All of them. Just, the movie is just devastating. Like imagine you're just home with your family, and then you just see shit blowing up around you.
Yeah.
And your house is
It was
next,
apocalyptic.
and your children
They
are
literally
gonna be
made
next.
Earth for 10 minutes and then blew it up. Half an hour in the movie, then blew it up entirely. And then even Adam Whitlock's mama died. Alyssa.
Oh, she did die. She got
he
blown
tried
up.
to save her, and then she got got. So
But shout out to Groot, because he ultimately saved Peter's life by showing Eyebrows mercy when he said, everyone deserves a second chance. And that's why Eyebrows decided to save Peter when he was suffocating.
That's a good point.
So shout out to I am Groot.
Wait.
Yeah, I didn't like how Groot talked at the end, said real words.
Also, I hated the way he looked.
Yeah, I thought when we first saw Groot, his first appearance, I thought that was full grown Groot.
It was, I think. It was.
So I don't know what this is. This still young
I think
adult
this is like
Groot?
20-year-old Groot who just husky now.
Because he doesn't look at all like the original Groot that we saw. So I'm like, okay, how old was that?
So
Groot?
there's two parts of me, right? One part of me is like Groot will be huskier because
But they're making him look too much like a human. Like, I don't want Groot to, how they made Hulk sexy? I don't need Groot to do that.
Yeah. No, they gave him like more like a human like face, and gave him like
he had like a
pecs.
really chiseled, chiseled face, and I'm just like, no, like Groot doesn't need to be sexy. Like he doesn't. We don't need a human, like what's it called? Personify, not personify.
No, it's personify. Personification will, personification. That's all. But anyway, no, I agree.
Yeah, we don't need to do that. But I did like Groot at the end when he was swole, when he was just like huge. I was like, okay, he's really turning into like a sequoia tree right now, and that's kind of no, he's turning into a rock monster. Like, was he made out of rock?
No, he was made out of wood. Stupid.
I don't know. It looks like rock because he was like in the desert and he was like kind of like a gray color. I was like,
oh, you mean at the
rock?
very end?
What's happening? Yeah, at the very end, like the end credits.
Oh
scene.
yeah, he did kind of look like a rock monster.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what also was cool? I thought it was cool how Rocket finally realized that he's an actual raccoon.
Yeah, he stopped denying it.
He was like, no, because he on the cage, he didn't know, wasn't denying, he didn't know, and he read on the cage.
No, I
it
think
was like
he.
the species.
Oh, I think
raccoon.
he knew. I don't know. I think he knew. I think it's just like, how can you tell me when I am a raccoon when I don't act like of a raccoon?
No, I don't think he ever seen of a raccoon before. He's seen it before, but he didn't remember it. So I think when he realized, because people called him like, if you watch the movie,
I don't know. I think he knew he was a raccoon. I think he was just in denial.
no, if you
because,
watch the
like,
movie, they call him like a badger, like trash panda. They call him a bunch of different animals that he didn't know what it was. Like, oh, little raccoon. I am not a raccoon. He's been saying it in all three movies. I am not a raccoon. I am not a raccoon.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I feel like it was more denial. Like, I feel like he knows what raccoons are. I don't think anyone else did. Or they could just be in like dickheads and just calling him whatever they want because they don't care.
Yeah, but I don't think.
But to me, I thought he knew what a raccoon was, but in his mind, he's like, how am I a raccoon? Like, you can't just like give me this consciousness, give me this intelligence, and then just reduce me to a raccoon. I'm not a raccoon. That's how it seems like to me. And him is finally accepting, like, I am a raccoon. This is what I am. This is what I'm born into. But
I don't think it was that deep. I thought he just didn't know because raccoons are on.
you never think nothing is that deep. I'm like, there's nuances to things, James. Like, there's nuances.
I also think
But
that it was pretty cool that at the end Peter got to go home.
yeah, no, I did like that. I did like that because Mantis made a good point. She was like, your grandfather lost his daughter, and then you went missing. You just disappeared. He's probably more messed up than you are.
Exactly.
Like, I didn't see any grandma around, so I'm like, I don't know if he's like alone. So, yeah, that was a nice end. You know, in every movie, and every kind of group, it always ends with them breaking up. So
It does.
it makes sense. Because if they don't break up, there'll be more movies, and we don't want more movies. I hope they don't make another
Yeah.
movie.
Well, one, Rocket is now leading the new group, which I thought was cool too, right? Because he wanted to be the leader anyway, in my opinion. But then two, they did say at the very end that Star-Lord will return. So I don't know in what capacity he's gonna return, but I would be interested.
What, in another end credit? I only stuck around.
Yeah,
for
one end credit was like Star-Lord will return, and it was him sitting with his grandfather eating cereal. So I would be interested in watching him on Earth and see how awkward him on Earth would be. That'd be kind of funny, right? He just used to.
Listen, you only got enough time. You only, like, Marvel, Chris Pratt gonna get tired.
Now if he could get in those Chris checks.
Yeah, I better leave him alone.
Those checks, man.
It's really, sometimes it don't really be about the money. I forget, I think they said Drax, he's not doing it anymore. He's over it. Joe Batista?
Oh, Batista, yeah. But no one's.
Yeah, he's not doing
it.
Yeah,
anymore. He become the comic relief after the second movie. The first one, he's supposed to be the scary tough guy, and they realized Batista.
But he's still goofy.
He was a little goofy, but
the fact that he doesn't understand metaphor and simile and sarcasm is hilarious to me.
It is. But no, I think that's a wrap for the movies. But Star-Lord is coming back in some capacity. Most likely it's just a spinoff or so, you know.
I'm not watching it.
I probably would.
Y'all, your girl is marveled out. Like, I wanted to see this movie, but the only thing I seen, let's see, besides this movie, I watched She-Hulk. I very much enjoy She-Hulk. Listen, that really showed me don't judge a book by its cover. Also, I didn't know that She-Hulk was a real, like, comic until later.
Is she related to the Hulk
She-Hulk's really
at
good,
all?
but that's her cousin.
What? They're cousins?
Yeah, that's her cousin. So what happens is, it's kind of stupid actually, but the show's still good. But she's driving with the Hulk, and then I don't know. I think they get attacked or something happens, and like some of his blood gets into her, and she becomes like a mini Hulk. Yeah, it's a dumb way, like that's stupid. But the show itself is good because like she's a lawyer, and like she just does lawyer shit. Like, but like she's also, and like she defends like supervillains and like superheroes and things like that. So it's really interesting. I really like She-Hulk a lot, actually.
I might have to check it out.
So
check it out.
It's good.
Okay.
And I have no doubt that because Disney they make good stuff. Marvel makes good stuff. It's just like, the Avengers are over.
Yeah, no, I agree.
The Guardians of the Galaxy are over. I don't feel like meeting these new people. I don't feel like meeting a new Captain America or like a new Marvel, Captain Marvel.
It does because Thanos was such a great villain, and the fact that Infinity Wars ended.
It was a good ending.
Like Infinity Wars before Endgame ended when we lost. I remember walking out when we watched a movie in L.A. and we lost. It was like, what the F did we just happen? We lost everybody, And also, after
we didn't lose everyone, we lost half.
Yeah, but everyone, all the like our favorite people,
I don't know. I did watch Black Panther,
Yeah.
so it's like the Black Panther is literally dead. Marvel. It's time for you to go on to the kiddos. I feel like I'm too old for Marvel now.
I agree. So, what do you rank this movie, Mary?
I would give it a medium bag of popcorn. Is there any particular reason? I guess sometimes the comedy felt a little forced. Like there's this one bit that I can't recall that went on a bit too long. What else? It was by no means a bad movie. Like I liked Gamora at the end, how she didn't reunite with Quill, but she went to go live her life. And it wasn't a bad movie at all, but I wouldn't call it a great movie because like if I hadn't seen it, I wouldn't feel like I missed out on anything. I would have been just fine. But I did appreciate the Rocket backstory, but also I don't appreciate it because it was so sad and it's like I didn't need to know that.
Yeah, no.
But I'm not getting it. I'm not giving it a low rating because of that. Well, a lower rating than like a large bag of popcorn because of that. It's just
Well, I am.
So.
It is a medium bag of popcorn. One because
of that, but that's the point. It's supposed to be
I
because horrific things happen to them.
I felt so uncomfortable at the beginning, like.
That's what it's supposed
I know,
to do.
that's why I didn't like it. Right. And then Gamora,
But I don't think that should affect the rating. For me, that doesn't affect the rating. It's just, you know.
it does for me.
Like, if I go, I don't know.
And
It's
then
like, listen.
for Gamora, I thought she was just unlikable. You know.
Oh, my God. They always say that about
Well, she
female
was.
characters. She's so unlikable. She's so unlikable. Like, Peter Quill was a playboy. Like, he was a man whore. Rocket cursed out everybody. Drax only talked about death. But Gamora is so unlikable. Just her. Everyone's unlikable. They're bandits. They're crooks.
Yeah, I just mean from.
Yeah.
I didn't think she was unlikable. The first Gamora, in the first two movies, I liked her, but in this movie,
I liked her in this movie. I liked how she said, "I ain't that bitch you lost." Like, that's I like that. It's like, because he kept trying to change her, and she's like, "No, that's not me." And it's like, that's not her. And I thought it was kind of funny how she wanted to kill everybody
She
at every
did.
chance. He was like, Peter was like, "Yeah, we used to date and we were in love, and then she died. Now she came back a total dick."
that was funny.
That was funny. But what you thought? What made her unlikable? Because she was just crabby.
No, I thought that she was just ruthless with Peter. Just like,
So you wanted her to be nice to this man who kept bucking her and wouldn't bring her back to the people, to her Ravengers, her Ravers?
well, no, she
Actually, the
couldn't. He couldn't
Ravers.
bring her back because Rocket would have died. No. I just means like.
Yeah, but that you didn't want to bring her back. She didn't give a damn about that. She wanted to
Yeah,
go
she
home.
just wanted to go home though. She didn't care. She didn't care about nothing at all until I think the very end, and when she was like, "Oh,
Because she didn't know
no."
them.
And once again, she was raised by a sociopath.
By
Yeah.
Thanos. Yeah, like she's a. You're not supposed to like she's not a good
No,
person. Like she
exactly.
at her core, but I think it's still a good character. Like I know she's not a villain, but when you think of Cersei,
I hate Cersei.
we hate Cersei,
Ooh.
but we love Cersei because she's so freaking evil.
I just only hate for me.
It's like I hate you, but you don't expect her to be likable. Why would you like someone like Cersei? And you don't hold that against her because that's it's not unlikable. She's a well-written, evil-ass character.
I hate that guy worse though, the High Evolutionary.
Yeah, I hate him.
He's hate.
I hate him. But you wouldn't call him
He
unlikable
was unlikable.
because in your mind he's. But I feel like you didn't say that because in your mind he's supposed to be the antagonist. You know what I mean? So of course he's unlikable. But no, I hate him. He disgusted me. But that actor, he killed it. You realize this one part he was kind of going crazy and he was screaming like, "Me want free, me want free." I was like, "This
He
Amazon?
said me want free.
You Toby?" Yeah, I heard him say "me want free," and I was like, "Is this like they're trying to like, hey, black people, we know y'all been through like what?" He said that. I'm pretty sure I said that. He said that. But yeah, that's all I got.
That's all I got to say. I got no more to say about that.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening. Go check out Guardians of the Galaxy 3 if you hadn't already, but I feel like you had to because by now you know this is not a spoiler-free podcast, so it's like, why would you listen to
We
this
could
if
tell
you
you about the
haven't seen
whole
the movie?
thing
But
anyway. So
yeah, we listen. I'm gonna talk about the movie. Like I don't know. You want to do a spoiler-free review one day?
Nah.
I don't want to either because I don't. We're just gonna talk. Y'all know what y'all listening to. This is pretty much like a supplement to the movie you just watched.
Supplement and
So
our thoughts. Sometimes we go off a topic, but
Yeah.
hey, that's why you love us. And that's why we love you.
that's a conversation.
Exactly. We
Do
love
we
our
love them?
listeners.
Okay, yes, we love you guys. But all right, guys, we'll see you later and have a good day and thank you again
To the
for
Watch
listening.
That Joan podcast.
Right. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.